Well, welcome to VBS, to all our teachers and volunteers. This is Reverend Hill, and I just want to take a minute to first just thank you so much for volunteering your time, for volunteering your energy, for volunteering your talents, so that we can bless our kids this VBS. I'm personally super grateful, and I just really want to challenge you to see VBS a little different than maybe we've seen it before. We know that researchers agree that most people who accept Jesus Christ actually do it by the age 14. It happens for them when they're children. So I want to encourage you, as I'm encouraging myself, to not just see VBS as another activity, but that we actually see that this is an opportunity that we're opening up a door for children to come to know the Lord. Now, the amazing thing about that is these children are also going to bring their loved ones. We're inviting our community out to be a part of our VBS. So I'm going to ask that you intentionally, prayerfully pray over your class. And let's just ask and believe the Lord to show up, that people will come to know Jesus. Even our own children who've maybe been hearing the gospel for a long time, but this would be their moment. We will have several children, several teens we're expecting. Pastor Bird's church will be joining us. So I just want to encourage us to have a real intentional perspective how we view VBS as you invest this time in preparing your lessons. We're expecting that Jesus will reveal himself. So a couple of things that I want to go over, because we have our big, huge last final training meeting. So get out your calendars and mark June 8th at 10 o'clock. I unfortunately will be out of town, so I wanted to make this video to make sure that I was able to connect with you and share some details and walk you through some processes. So the first thing I want to do is kind of go through an overview of our classroom setup. So each classroom, as most of you know, will have a primary teacher and we'll have an assistant teacher. So I'll go over kind of what those roles would look like, but my heart is that you will work as a team and you guys will figure out the flow of your class. But here's how it's set up. The primary teacher role, if you're the primary teacher, you actually receive the booklet that actually looks like this, very similar to this. It has all your lessons for the entire week in it, okay? We are asking that you review all these lessons prior to attending the June 8th meeting so that you can be prepared to give us the materials for any activities you may desire. But that is going to be your primary role. It's to study and prepare and to actually teach those lessons. Now, if you desire and your assistant desire to teach together, that is okay. The company has given us copyright rights to actually print lessons. So we can actually take your booklet, and if you look inside at the different lessons you guys want to trade off teaching, then we can print those. In our package, we only received one book for each teacher. So, but we can make this happen. So let us know if copies are needed. Review your lessons with your assistant. And the beauty of this is that your assistant can also maybe give you some ideas. So you guys can kind of kick off some ideas from each other. How do we want to set up our class? Here at Ebenezer, they actually just gave us these large sheets of white paper. There's a scripture for each day of VBS. So if you want to write those scriptures and maybe tape them to the wall or have them in your classroom, so each day you're reviewing scripture, you can think about creative ways to engage and help the kids learn their scriptures, learn the lesson. So if you guys come together and talk about it, you probably could bounce off some really good ideas with each other. Also, the primary teacher, please make sure you go through all of the lessons, and if there's things that you need to actually make things more creative, more fun and engaging for the kids, please create a list for us. Now, those of you who are able to be at our May meeting, you received the red folder that looked exactly like this. Inside that red folder, which by the way, Sister Buens did a great job making these folders. Inside that red folder, you actually received a whole printout of some items that are stapled together. What Sister Sharon, who's our VBS coordinator, did is she included a list in there. It's a blank sheet that looks like this. Hopefully you can see this a little bit. It looks like this. This is so that you can write down any items that you're thinking might be purchased that you can use for activities and teaching in the classroom. If you do not have this list, that's okay. Just make a list, and in our June 8th meeting, please bring that list with you, okay? So we would do our best to make sure that everything that you need, you'll have. The goal of that list is really so that you can have the creative, use your own creativity to teach the kids. Okay, so let's talk about the role of the assistant. The role of the assistant, you are actually there to assist your primary teacher in whatever's needed. And so if that's going to be teaching, if that's helping the kids learn, you want to help make sure all the materials for activities are together and ready. You also want to make sure that you're keeping track of attendance, because we may have new children. We anticipate having new children attend each day. So if you have a new child in your room, you want to make sure you get their name and help keep up with that. Sister Sharon will oversee all of our attendance and registration. So just in case she misses somebody, you can let her know you have a new kiddo in your class. The other thing is, you want to make sure that you're helping maintain the structure in the classroom. So that I know sometimes our kiddos can have a little, hard time. If they're having a real difficult time and you're having a difficult time with some of their behaviors, then please let Sister Sharon or myself know so that we can actually support you in that. But it's going to be super important that you're engaging with the kiddos, that you're actually having fun with them, that you're doing the scriptures, that you're doing all the activities with them so they can actually have a model of what good behavior looks like and what engaging in the classroom looks like. Okay, we went over requesting materials. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is please, if you have your phone, your calendar, whatever you have, if you can pull that out right now. Yes, I know you're watching the video, but I really do want you to pull it out right now. I want you to go to June 8th and put in your calendar, June 8th at 10 o'clock, we will meet for our final meeting for our all volunteers, all teachers meeting right here at our church. We're going to meet at 10 o'clock. We'll end at 11. And we need to be ended by 11 because our women's ministry will then kick off right at 11. So we'll meet back there in the fellowship hall. Your attendance is so vital because this is when we're going to wrap everything up. Remember, this is also when you're going to bring your materials list that you created. Remember, you've already gone through all of your lessons, so if there's any questions, you want to bring your questions. Minister Viewins will take all of your list of materials and she'll ensure that those materials for VBS are delivered to you so that you have everything that you need. Now, if there's something that's kind of, which most of you won't do this, I'm not worried about it, but if it's something that goes extremely outside of our budget, then I'll have that, conversation with you and let you know and see if there's something else different we can do. But our goal is really to support you to get you what you need for your class. All right. Again, sorry I will not be there. I'm so bummed. You guys, that I can't be at this last meeting, but I am going to be available. So most of you have my number. I'm also, in the church directory. You can get a hold of me. You can contact me. I will be out of the state and won't return until like the following week on like the 11th or something. But Sister Sharon, who is our VBS coordinator, she will be running our meeting and answering questions for you and actually walking us through what that week is going to look like. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for the investment of your time, and I sincerely mean that. VBS is such a huge thing and a huge part of the kids' lives. And we're just going to trust and believe that these kids and their families will show up and that they will hear and accept Jesus. So thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.